So here is this is one lady that's really prominent on TikTok. Her name's No Nonsense Spirituality. And as you can see here, I just pulled up her most popular TikToks. We're talking about 3.5 million, 1.6 million, 2.8 million, 1.8 million, 6.7 million. She gets massive views and engagement, 2.3 million down here on these TikToks where she believes that she's a spiritual director and nihilism coach specializing in tools of the void.
What the heck is that?
Not all of them are specifically regarding Christianity. Let me see. Deconstruction. Here we go. Christianity.
Ways that I, a mere mortal, am better than the Christian God. When someone wrongs me and is sorry, I don't require additional violence or additional scapegoating in order for me to say you are forgiven. I've never thrown a temper tantrum and flooded the earth. I've never killed Egyptian baby boys. If I were a benevolent God and humans had been on the earth for 250,000 years, living in superstition, in suffering, dying at the age of like 35, on the edge of extinction sometimes, and living like this for 250,000 years, I would not have sat silent during all of that time while humans were guessing why volcanoes were happening or why the sun came up in the morning. And then after about 245,000 years, said, you know what, maybe I'll send some prophets, or maybe I'll send a Jesus or a Buddha to kind of come help with this. But for 200 and almost 50,000 years, been silent and just watched humans suffer at the edge of extinction. If I were a good God, I would not have.
You're talking about Geico cavemen, like the Piltdown Man and all this kind of stuff. Well, the funny thing is that Piltdown Man, Nebraska Man are famous frauds. So I'm interested to know where did she get the idea that there was like, you know, 250,000 years of cavemen. By the way, where's all the fossils for this? Basically zillions of cavemen.
Well, and none of it was an actual argument. It's just like rhetorical musings and saying, well, if I was this, well, first of all, the timeline, people who actually believe in scripture don't believe that we've been here for 250 some thousand years or whatever. And this whole thing. And I have a friend who, let's just say, is a scientist, experimental physicist, and works for very important places like NASA. And he's an Orthodox Christian. He highlights how all this scientific worldview of the Big Bang and cosmology, it's all built on models on top of models on top of models.
Assumptions,
and that experimental physics, which is what he does. Half-life is true. Radiocarbon dating is real. But beyond this, these extrapolations that they are total fictions.
Can you do the patriarchy one? I'd like to see that one.
This is still a little bit raw, but I just got off with a client who's recovering from religion. And usually in a client, it's not about me at all. It's not about my feelings, my story, any of that. I'm totally focused on the other person. But today I wept with her. And looking back, it may have been appropriate in the moment. It may not have been. It may have been a little bit too much of me showing up in the session. But it's because she's not on here on TikTok at 20 years old, deconstructing patriarchy with her best friends. She's 60 with 8 kids and realizing now for the first time that she was sold a lie. She was told that the only value she has would be in the service that she gives to others, especially her husband and her children. And what kills me is that by the time that she knew that she had value and she had a voice and she deserves to have passions and opinions and she deserves to have autonomy over her own body, her life was mostly over.
Well, says who and why?
When people tell me, why don't you...
Atheists always assert these positions like that. Like, you have to respect my autonomy and my body, and I have value and I have meaning. No, you don't. Not in the meaningless universe.
Right.
And why do I have to respect? Who are you to tell me I have to respect? Are you a dogmatist now? Are you telling me I have to respect your body and your values and your identity? Why?
Well, and imagine talking to a woman who's 60 years old with 8 children and crying because she just realized that she has more worth than serving her husband and children. Which, I mean, what exactly is there that's more beautiful and more important than your family? So, I mean,
I guess she didn't get her Eat, Pray, Love adventure in India or whatever, right?
Yeah, the romantic, passionate sex with a guru.
I will place my seed inside of you. Like Osho,
Yeah,
right? Osho would
exactly. Yeah,
inside of you.
and TikTok is a cesspool. I mean, as you were live before
I was
this
just
stream,
on there with like insane,
and it was the
lunatics for 3
dumbest. I
hours.
mean, the dumbest people making the like. I mean, it was retarded. It was people. I mean, just one guy was threatening you with basically romantic advances. I mean, it's retarded. It was the lowest. I mean, at least when you hold your X spaces, yeah, there's some retards in there, but it's certainly higher quality.
It's definitely
TikTok.
higher tier than there for sure.
And Dan McClellan, he's the other one that he will make sure to tell you he's a biblical scholar, and he's actually a progressive Mormon. We talked a little bit about him over on Jay's stream, and you pull up his Instagram, as Jay highlighted last time. Every single, this was just posted 5 hours ago. He lifts up his action figures, superhero T-shirts. And he has Funko Pops. There's videos on his YouTube where you can see he has a whole thing of Funko Pops behind him. And he is a progressive. He is pretty soft on, sexual immorality and stuff like that.
Instagram is all Marvel cinematic.
I mean, look at it. Spider Punk. Do justice, love mercy.
It's like, how old is this guy? It's like, this guy's like 13, or is he 13 or is he a grown man?
He looks like he's definitely in the latter 40s.
Do you see, by the way, a woman with him in any of these pictures? Because
never.
The way he talked was a little.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy is swinging for the other team.
The prohibition on same-sex intercourse that we find in Leviticus 18 and Leviticus 20 is not transferable to contemporary Christian societies, and anything.
I knew it. I knew he was going to.
So I'm starting to think that he has an activist agenda because of his proclivities.
Exactly.
That we find in Leviticus 18 and Leviticus 20 is not transferable to contemporary Christian societies in anything remotely approximating an authoritative way. Hey, everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion. We can consider a bunch of different features of this prohibition. One, what precisely is being prohibited? It is prohibiting a man from taking the insertive role in an act of male same-sex intercourse. You try to transfer that, you're not getting the whole package. You're just getting a prohibition on a man taking the insertive role in an act of male same-sex intercourse.
This is like a Talmudic way of like well, it only says this. So if it's not an insertive role, then it's not gay sex. It's not prohibited. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. The oral festivities he has with his friends, that's not.
That doesn't count because it doesn't say that in the text. The text doesn't say that.